Hi team! Today's challenge is challenge 2.3 and it is titled Be the Bar and Set the Bar. And so what this means is, first of all, setting our bar. As leaders, and if you're in this challenge, you are a leader, whether you know it or not. Even if you only have one person on your team, you're still leading them. So, when it comes to setting the bar for ourselves, back in January of this year, I set my bar for myself that I would outwork the hardest working person on my team. And I could do that because I had some really hard workers. So I had a girl on my team messaging 30 people a day at that time. And I was like, you know what? If I'm the leader, I have to outwork her. And I had someone else who was recruiting really well, and so then I had to outwork her. So for me, that worked really well. Now for some of you who don't maybe have some serious business builders yet, you can't just say that. You can't say, well, they don't message anyone a day, so if I message 2, then that's better than nothing. Here's the real deal. Now remember, this week is about transparency, honesty, owning our strengths and weaknesses, so I'm about to get real. Okay, if you are creating time to message 2 new people, you have time to message 10 new people. And here is why 10 new messages a day should be the absolute bare minimum. And I even make 10 the minimum for people trying to go silver, those brand new people. Right out the gate, I say, okay, we're gonna get you started on your first contact message. You're gonna start posting twice a day. And you're gonna start at the top of your Facebook friends list and work through A to Z. Whew, sorry. I start off super serious with them, and here's why. Again, remember, momentum is your friend. But also there is the fact that if you are only messaging 2 new people a day, or 3 new people a day, or even 5 new people a day, it's gonna take you forever. It is absolutely going to take you forever to grow your business. And maybe you're okay with it moving slower. Maybe you aren't really a driven person, but guess what? If you grow your business really slowly, life is gonna get in the way and eventually you will let it fizzle out altogether. And here's why. For those of you who have full-time jobs, you know this already, and it's gonna prick you when I say it. Okay. Maybe you're a nurse, maybe you work 12-hour shifts, and maybe that's exhausting, and maybe it's not what you want to do the rest of your life. Maybe you'd rather be home with your baby right now, but guess what? You know what that paycheck looks like every other Friday, and to you, it's worth it. It is sure money, it is there, you can count on it, and so it's not an option to you. Do I want to finish my 12-hour shift? Do I not want to finish it? You do it. You do it because it's what you do. You go to work, you do your job, you do it well, you get paid. Plexus isn't any different, you guys. If we go and message 2 new people a day, or 3 new people a day, or 5 new people a day, your paycheck is gonna reflect that, because you are not gonna add very many people to your team, and you're not gonna add them very quickly. And so every month you're gonna go, oh yeah, I went silver like 6 months ago, but yeah, it's just not really working for me. Is that true? Is Plexus not working for you, or are you just not working Plexus? And here's why I can say that, because I was that way in the beginning. Geesh, guys, even Facebook posting was so scary for me, so scary for me. I patted myself on the back if I just did that. And then I gave myself 2 pats on the back if I messaged 1 new person. But I realized I decided to become coachable, and I started watching the people around me. And the people who were successful are the ones who made it happen. They messaged their 10 people a day. They got the word out there. And even when they got their no's, they knew that they were still gonna be successful, because each no got them closer to a yes. Now, if you don't feel good about your first contact message, maybe you feel like it's salesy or pushy and you're not getting good feedback, send it to your sponsor. And if your sponsor doesn't know, your sponsor will send it to me. We can get several sets of eyes on the first contact message you're using, and we can tweak it, play around with it a little bit, make it personal. Be super vulnerable with people. Say, listen, if this isn't something you want to hear about, that's okay. But here's the deal. You are my friend, and I had to tell you about this. Or if it's someone you don't even know, like they're just your Facebook friend, we're Facebook friends with people we hardly know at all. You can say, listen, I know we haven't talked on Facebook in forever, but here's what's going on in my life and here's how it's impacting me. Don't use the word plexus. Just talk about how you're getting your health back in check. Things you used to struggle with that you don't struggle with anymore. Talk about how you were exhausted with the daily grind, working your job day in and day out, and instead of getting a second job, you realized you could do this from home and it wasn't going to take away from everything you already loved. Remember, guys, this is short-term sacrifice for long-term gain. So get your head in the game, get the messages out. Your team should be growing daily. If you are gold or above, you should be having new people added to your team every single day. And that's another reason why we have to set our bar higher. We should be messaging lots of new people a day because we should constantly be expanding our network. And also, if we're gonna start our newbies out on messaging 10 people a day, then we should double it. We should be messaging 20 people a day as their leaders, at least. I set a personal minimum for myself of 25 people. Because here's the deal, if we're being intentional, every time we sit down, we will make time, especially copy and pasting, it's so fast. We will make time to get those extra names in. And that means that you're constantly gonna be adding people, because if you message 20 and only get 3 responses, that's okay. But you're constantly gonna have follow-ups happening, you're constantly gonna be signing people and closing lots of people, and that is the phase you're all in right now. You are in the trenches. This is not the time to say, it's fine, I added 2 people last month or last week, so I'm good for this week. Like, my goal was to only to add 4 people this month and I already have 2 and I have like 3 weeks of the month left, so I'm fine. No, that's not how it works. And signing people takes a while. So if you're waiting, if you take a couple days off or take several days to get back to someone, guess what? They might take a week to get back with you. And then you're gonna be running out of time and you're not gonna get them signed. So create that sense of urgency, share your passion, set the bar high. And the second thing is, and it kind of goes with what I said about what we expect of newbies, not only do we have to set a high bar for ourselves, and one more thing about that, about setting the bar high for yourselves, if you are with a sideline in plexus who is not igniting your fire, you need a new sideline. If you guys are kind of like trucking in the same spot and you're like, yeah, I'm more focused on team building, I only send out like 4 or 5 messages a day, and she's like, yeah, it's fine, I'm focusing more on team too, like I coach my people all the time, I only sent out 3 messages today. That's not the right sideline for you, friends. My sideline pushes me. She stretches me outside my comfort zone. If I say I slacked on this, she's like, girl. She's like, well, I did this today. And now I'm like, oh my gosh, now I can't go to bed till I've matched it. So make sure the people you're looking up to are advancing quickly. Make sure the people you're looking up to have momentum. Make sure they have fruit to show for their work. Make sure their team is strong, okay? Hook up with sidelines that actually push you and inspire you to be more and do better, and not to become complacent. Now that goes right along with being the bar. We want to be that bar for other people. We want to be that bar for our team. So if we're just doing the minimum, even as rubies, if we're just doing the minimum, messaging 5 new people a day, that's not setting the bar. We can't tell our people going silver, you message 10 a day, but I'm only gonna message 5. That's not how it works. We have to lead by example. So today's challenge 2.3 is to post in the comments your new IPA that you are committing to. And just like everything else in this group, we will be holding each other accountable. So post your goals for this week, how many people you want to make contact with, how many people you're gonna message a day, and your goal for how many people you want to sign in the next, before this challenge is over. All right, everyone, let's get to work.